Hey everyone, and thanks for jumping back into the cryptoverse. Today we're going to talk about Bitcoin. We're going to be taking a look at this breakout to 11K. So if you guys like the content, please subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up. We have a Telegram channel in the description below. You guys should join it. We have over 4,600 people in the group, so do go check it out. Bitcoin has really pushed up recently, and we're going to dive in to see kind of what happened here. So the first thing, right, we've been talking about this for a long time, this accumulation region, and saying that this is a really good thing for Bitcoin. So if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, we've been talking about, the general 8,600, the fact that Bitcoin was essentially ranging from 8,600 or so to it was around 10K. So we were moving between like 8,600 to 10K several different times. So this is our general window, our kind of our re-accumulation phase, right? This is what we call our re-accumulation phase for a potential speculative bubble breakout this summer. And one of the things that our observations, right, that the data suggested was, these types of moves are really good because if you look at the amount of time we spent in the re-accumulation range, it was 91 days. And this is a good thing because if you zoom out, we have not actually spent that much time within this region. Like if you just kind of extend, if I were to grab this line here and then just extend it out, you can see that we often, right, have not spent that much time within this range here. We just tend to go through it or fall through it. So move up through it, fall through it, move up through it, fall through it. And again here, move to the top and then straight back down. We had never really gone sideways in this range. And even if you look over here, if you extend it further, I mean, you can see the same thing applies. We never really were moving sideways in that region. And it's an important thing to move sideways. It's a good way for people to accumulate, for everything to kind of slow down for a bit. You can see in the history of Bitcoin, I mean, before this, we were never even at these levels, right? But in the history of Bitcoin, between the values of 8,600 to 10K, it was just but a fleeting moment in time where we just kind of glanced through it and then maybe quickly fell back through it. It was never something that we moved sideways in. And this is why we said, this is a boring time in crypto, but the real money is made, right? The real money is made in the bear market. The real money is made down here so that when we're up here, you have that many more multiples on your ROI. If you're waiting for 10.5 to get into the market, like I know some of you did, your ROI, right? If you had said, let's say you sold at 6K or 8K, you're really kind of hurting yourself there, right? Because you're completely getting out of the market. You're waiting for it to dip back down, and then what if it never does? There's a huge risk associated with that, and we said that many times. There's a risk to holding Bitcoin, and there's a risk not to holding Bitcoin. One of the things I wanted to talk about here was, if you look at this was 91 days, right, in this accumulation range. And we said that even in a bull market, this is par for the course. You can see there were other times where we had accumulation ranges. I mean, here's one, if you take it from, say, this point over here, this one lasted 200 days during the last market cycle. We were at around $300 to $400, somewhere $350 to $450, somewhere in that range, where we just moved sideways for over half a year. And again, here, the same thing. I mean, we kind of moved to a new level, came back down, and then basically moved sideways for, a third of a year or so. So these are several month moves where the market starts to get boring. People, when we were at this stage here, it's not like a lot of people expected this to happen. When you've been going down for so long and then going sideways for so long, I remember the market sentiment, it was like, well, like, why is it not going up? Like, it feels like it should be going up, but it's not. So then when it finally starts to go up, you get a little excited, but you want to manage your expectations because you've been burned so many times in the past. Like, you were burned potentially here, and maybe this move, and then this move, and then this move. And you keep getting excited about these potential moves, and then it just keeps, like, kicking you back down. So moving sideways is a good thing. And when you look at the entire scope, right, of the bull market, you can see, like, it makes sense to the people up here, like, oh, this was a great time to buy into the market. but you were there for the journey. It was not that easy, right? I mean, no one knew this was going to happen, right? No one thought that we were going to go up this quickly. I mean, I guess I can't say no one. I'm sure there was some people out there that were screaming for, a 10K Bitcoin in a year. But for the most part, the market as a whole was not thinking that this was going to continue going up for as long as it did. And so it really has a way of bending what the truth is in terms of accumulating Bitcoin, or just holding it. You look at this and you say, oh well, it just went up and up and up. But again, we've shown that that was not the case, and that we saw many 30 to 40% drops down to that 20-week moving average even in this time frame, right? So we're going to expect that this time around too. We would expect these drops down. So if you zoom in here, one of the things we've also done, right, is we've flipped this to the monthly scale. If you flip it to the monthly scale and zoom in, well, actually, let me go back to the weekly first, because we also noted, right, that we spent a lot of our time. They were basically, if we draw, say, like a center line at around 94, because we're drawing it from 86 up to 10K. Let's draw, like, say, like a center line approximately in that region. And so if we do this, so you can see it's around 86 to 10K. This is approximately the center line. Probably doesn't look like it. It's a log scale, remember that. But it is a center line in terms of, just the average of this point and this point. And then you switch it to the monthly scale. The first month we were in this accumulation range. We were in the bottom half. The second month we were also in the bottom half. Okay. And we had wicks, both times we had wicks to the top, but they were nothing more than wicks. You can see that. I mean, on the monthly time frame, our candles were in the lower half of this range, and we said, this is actually a really good sign. We're slowly accumulating, we're slowly building up. Let's be prepared for a speculative bubble this summer. Not that it has to happen, and not that it really has happened yet. I mean, I don't think we're necessarily in bubble territory yet. I think we need a couple more K to go before we start to say that, okay, yeah, it's getting into bubble territory. But looking at kind of where we've come so far, I feel like the data suggested it all along. I tended to think it was going to go up in the short term, mainly because this accumulation region and moving sideways is a really great thing even in a bull market, because it gives you a chance to actually consolidate at that position, kind of build out a base of new buyers, and then to continue on the path, like just continue marching on up. I'll take this moment to remind you that we do have the premium list. If you guys want to know what I'm doing, you can check that out into thecryptoverse.com. You get access to like the stuff that I'm doing, how I see the markets. I'll tell you kind of like where I see things, what I'm like, maybe like some of the swing trades I'm making. So I'll give you a play-by-play of what I'm expecting, what I'm maybe not expecting. And also you get access to a Google Sheets risk dashboard. So a lot of the plays that I make are based on the risk levels. It's a way basically to filter out the noise, right? To filter out the noise of the market. You don't really care about these, 5% moves, right? We don't get out of bed for 5%. We're more so looking at these longer term momentum shifts in the market. So it's not day trading, it's more like positional trading. And just trying to say, okay, well, the risk level of this coin has shot up so many different risk bands in the last couple months. Perhaps it's time to dynamically DC out of that into a different one that is not. So that's basically what we do in that alerts channel. And then, of course, you also get access to a weekly video and a weekly report every Sunday night, which ends up being Monday morning for most people, but it's my Sunday night. So I hope you guys sign up. I would like to remind you that the prices will be going up. I announced this yesterday. If you're already a member, you're grandfathered in. You have nothing to worry about. I'm not raising the prices on you, but there's so many people that have been joining recently, and I'm just handling it all by myself. And so because of the administrative work has gone up so much, I need to it's just basic economics. I have to raise prices to kind of help offset that. So in a few weeks, the prices will go up, and if you sign up before that, then you're going to just be grandfathered in at the price that you already were. It'll just be for new people. So I just want to make that clear. Moving back over here, one of the nice things, right, is if we are seeing a speculative bubble like we did last summer, then this move could just be getting started, right? I mean, we might make it up to 12K and then 13K and 14K. You know, it could easily go higher, right, in the short term, and it could also easily go back down. But the point is if it does go higher, you need to be prepared. And I would say stick to a plan now. There is someone, I think his name is AI. I could be wrong, so sorry if I'm getting it wrong, but he's in the Telegram group. You guys should join it, by the way. It's in the description below. But he posted this comic. I don't know where he got it from, if you know, he made it or if someone else made it. But it's kind of like the general sentiment, right? Everyone, you know, the 2018 crash, you're holding Bitcoin, and I mean, hopefully, you know, some of you managed to sell, but the general narrative, right, is you're holding Bitcoin through the 2018 crash, and it's just really hard to do it, so you take a hit, right, and you kind of become more immune to these quicker moves. And then you have the 18 to 2020 bear market, where it's you know, where basically it's just continuously hitting you, like, you know, you continue to DCA into the market, but every month or two, the price just keeps trending down. Things finally start looking good, and then March 2020 happens, right? And then you know, things just come crashing back down. And then so you've basically been going through all this, and then you get to August 2020, and you've taken all these hits, and you know, you feel so battle hardened to everything going on. But then you have these other people that are, you know, don't even worry about crypto, and then they say, oh, you're so lucky you got in under 10K, but you know, it was not that easy of a ride. It's the same sentiment, right? It's the same sentiment as, you know, looking hindsight. It's hindsight, looking back on a market and saying it looks so easy, or you got so lucky. And again, it's not luck, it was a calculated investment, right? This is not financial advice, by the way. This is just my interpretation here of the market. So, you know, we'll continue to follow along. You know, it's things can move quickly. You know, Bitcoin can certainly move quickly, and of course the altcoins and Ethereum will react appropriately to what Bitcoin is doing. So I do tend to follow the main four. You can actually see them on the screen. Ethereum, ADA, and Link are the main ones. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys think. I would love to have you subscribe, turn your notifications on so you get notified of future videos. Give the video a thumbs up if you guys like the content. You know, it's possible that Bitcoin sees a nice move today, and maybe I'll go live later today if that happens. But in the meantime, stay focused, right, on the end game. I would just say to stay level-headed. The money that you've made or potentially made during this move is not house money. It is your money now. So do away with this misconception that it's just playing with house money. It is not. If you have the ability to withdraw it to your bank account, then it is your money. So just get used to the new normal whenever the new normal is redefined. So that'll wrap it up. Check out the premium list. Check out the Telegram group. Subscribe. I'll see you next time. Bye.